I'd like to read a poem by my predecessor, Janae Bryce, who was the first Poet Laureate of Vallejo, and this is a poem called When Rosa Parked. A nation held its collective breath, sitting somewhere betwixt life and death. When Rosa parked, we let out a sigh of relief, as she demonstrated a long-held belief. A tired person ought to have the right to sit a spell, to rest a night. When Rosa parked, she gave us permission to finally go on a mandated mission, because she said no. What a fire was sparked, all on the day when Rosa parked. Because she sat down, we finally stood up. We all realized enough is enough. She gladly gave her wrist to the cuffs. She braved the bruises, the scars, and the scuffs. Unborn generations clapped and cheered. Unborn eyes glazed over in tears. Unheard of courage, uncommon valor. To a woman, to a people, to a world, it mattered. Something inside her rose up and barked on that day when Rosa parked. This is a poem I wrote called 2001 to 2016. My generation is currently facing a resurgence of racism similar to the 1920s, an economic crisis that echoes back to the 1930s, the threat of looming totalitarianism like we're back in the 1940s, elders whose social standards were first broadcast in the 1950s, taking our anger to the streets and protest like it's the 1960s, fighting wars built on national lies like we never left the 1970s, suffering under trickle-down politicians just like it's the 1980s, and you wonder why all of us 1990s kids are feeling just a little bit crazy. But you judge us and say we're so entitled and lazy, that wanting better opportunities and education is just a pipe dream. And how dare we decide that the best thing to do is fight this? Should we just accept a life of poverty, low wages, and high prices, as we waste the entire earth with wars and greed while ignoring the climate crisis? It seems to me that there must be a better version of what life is. I wrote this next one after the 2016 election as a source of hope. It's called Where Are the Heroes? We are the lawyers showing up to airports. We are the regular people showing up to our first protests. We are the people giving our first donations to the ACLU. We are the people who ran for delegations for the first time. We are the journalists who are continuing to write the truth. We are the celebrities who are risking fandom by speaking out. We are the artists who refuse to play the inauguration. We are the taxi drivers who went on strike. We are the students who walked out of school in protest. We are the teachers training the next generations. We are the people who walked out of our jobs in protest. We are the government employees refusing immoral orders. We are the musicians crying out in protest songs. We are the poets bearing witness, sparking hope. We are those who continue to treat humanity with dignity. We are those who choose morality over harsh legality. And we are more visible now than any other time. We are choosing to be the heroes that we seek. We are millions in this darkness we shall defeat. We shall resist, we shall persist, and stop this madness. This one's called Greed's Disconnect. They'll judge you for your possessions that you purchased before the recession. They'll have no sympathy for your depression, but you cannot afford a therapy session. They'll start wars over resources while wasting more over the course of it. They'll cut funding for living artists while paying millions for ancient artwork. They'll cut housing subsidies as they live in mansions with unused rooms. They'll expect you to live on fast food while refusing to pay them well, too. They'll cut food stamps as they dine on single meals costing thousands. They'll cut public education while sending their kids to expensive schools. They'll blame the poor for not saving as they waste millions on frivolity. They'll tell you to do it yourself while they don't even drive, cook, or clean. They'll tell you to get a low-wage job while they blaze about in luxury. They'll cut public transit funding as they ride around in limousines. They'll only donate to foundations if men lie in the gutter in starvation. They won't fund universal health care, but God forbid you ever cut theirs. I wrote this one after the shooting in the mosques in New Zealand. It's called 49 Lights. 49 lights, 49 souls, 49 lights extinguished too soon, 49 universes ceasing their miraculous existence, these lives cut short by poisonous hatred, their lost echoes throughout the world, brothers and sisters lost while engaged in prayer, whilst gathering in holy places, places meant for joy, for love, for community and praise, now stand broken and drenched in tears of heartbreak. As their souls reascend towards paradise to be reunited with the one to whom they so devotedly praised, may our prayers of peace ascend with them, wrapping their loved ones in a blanket of warmth, comforting their fellow congregants until their hearts can be healed. And may we all work towards a day when all peoples of this world can live together in peace, accepting the holy beauty of the diversity of creation. This is my final poem. It's called A World Without Bullets. You say to yourself, reading the newspapers, but that could have been me. We must not let it change us for the worse. We must not hide ourselves from the beauty that life has to offer. We must not allow fear to stop us from getting an education, worshiping in our sanctuaries, enjoying live music, watching films upon the big screen, dancing the night away, working at our professions, eating out at restaurants, hanging out at the local mall, competing at gaming conventions, or seeking medical treatment. We must continue to be defiant in the face of fear by enthusiastically participating in life. We must demand a world where it is safe for people to live their daily lives. A world where the weapons of war cannot be purchased at your local drugstore. A world where those with power cease to close their ears, ignore all of our tears, stop offering up empty words with the sight of an action while people continue to die. Stop giving in to the demands of the greedy, for you're sanctifying the hatred of the unhinged, rather than acting that their deaths be avenged. For all their sakes, we must demand peace, live peace, breathe peace, be peace. We can have a world free of bullets, but it's up to you to give it. Thank you very much.